Hallo, Hallöchen und herzlich willkommen zurück bei dem verrückten Vogel aus der Nachbarschaft. Motor hier und wir spielen mal wieder eine Runde weiter mit FGO. Richtig, weil wir haben ja gestern schon ein bisschen weiter gemacht und wir machen heute auch noch mal wieder ein bisschen weiter, weil das ist halt die ganze Hitze verbrennen, Mann. Da können wir ja nicht einfach so mitten hier drin so Cliffhanger lassen, ne? Und ja, das letzte Mal hat uns K ja noch mal am Ende rausgeboxt. Und ich würde mal sagen, wir schauen uns sofort dann, was das sozusagen das Schicksal noch als nächstes im Petto hat, ne? Also, so, so, Musik brauchen wir nicht mehr. Zack, werden wir jetzt gleich ingeben. Du wirst minimiert. Sound an, bitte einmal. Zack. Einmal locken, Bildschirm locken, bitte. Danke. Der letzte Zucker. Zap, zap und so. So, zurücklehnen. Und dann würde ich mal sagen, Los Bells Dato. Naja gut, Event-Quest, ne? Gibt's ja, aber nein, die Event-Quest machen wir nicht. Wir machen mit Avalon Lafay weiter. Als ob ich hier Event-Quest mache. Nichts aus. Guck mal hier, Time of Creation. Genau, Merlin hat uns ja sozusagen jetzt mal kurzzeitig als letztes besucht. Und dann gucken wir mal, was jetzt gleich abgeht. So, dann Avalon Lafay. Time of Creation. Oh, lecker Tierchen nicht vergessen, ne? Ganz, ganz wichtig. Now then, I believe greetings are in order. Good day, Chaldeans. I'm the amazing Merlin the Great. I've actually been free for some time now, ever since Morgan was killed and her garden disappeared. Sorry for getting here so late. I needed some extra time to get everything ready. Fufu! Is that you, Carpalock? No fair staying behind in Chaldea without me. Ja gut, ne? I'm sorry, Merlin. That was just Senpai's full impression. Is that the thing in Chaldea now? Who said that could be a thing? Oops, sorry about that. I'm still a little shaky. I'm not exaggerating when I say this feels like a waking dream for me. Ja, das habe ich gerade gesehen. Der wurde auf einmal durchsichtig. You see, I'm not actually there with you. What you're seeing right now is an illusion. That also means I can only hear your voices. I can't see what either you or Mesh look right now, Imoto. So I'm afraid your joyful reunion will have to wait a little longer. But don't worry, I get to see your grown-up faces just in a few hours. I'll be waiting for you at the entrance to Avalon, making sure I look nice and respectable. Ja gut, der alte Inkubus, ne? Merlin? You're Merlin? That's me. Is that the child of prophecy speaking? Sorry to surprise you like this. I know we have a lot to catch up on, but I'm afraid our private conversation will have to wait until things are somewhat less intense. Let's see, I believe Mr. Golov is Chaldea's current commander, yes? Is he there now too? Yes, yeah, I am. This is God of Music, speaking. So you're Merlin, are you? And not bother asking why you're just showing up now. You're right that we have more pressing matters than you're bargaining. What I want to know is what you meant when you said there's still hope. Nice. You pack a lot of bluster into that voice. Seems you're pretty much the exact opposite of the prayer acting commander. But I digress. When I said there's still hope, I meant there's still a way to stop this collapse. Let me cut to the chase. I'd like you to send the Fairy of the Paradise back here right away. Arthur, you've been hearing Avalon calling to you ever since you finished ringing the bells, right? Willst du was trinken? Ganz wichtig, ganz wichtig. It's time for you to fulfill your duty as the Fairy of the Paradise. Once you have it, it'll be possible to erase this singularity, defeat Carnunos. Gut! But I'm not qualified to. Qualifications, not that matters. Carnunos' curse will weaken once the Fairies of Paradise rung the bells of pilgrimage returns to paradise. Won't get rid of it entirely, but it'll stop it from getting stronger. The god of wisdom who pawned this power off on me confirmed as much. He might be from a different mythology, but he knows what he's talking about here. Isn't that right, Ambrosius? My job is to get Altria to paradise by hook or by crook. As long as she's rung the bells of pilgrimage, it doesn't even matter if she's still alive. Fuck! Right, of course. I should have known that's how this would go. Kimura, why would you say something like that? So I've actually kind of known about it all along. I could have seen it why Grimmer was here the whole time too. That's expressly for the worst case scenario, Grimmer. We are nowhere near that point now. She's in the best possible condition right now. Can't see it, but I can sense it. I have no doubt that the Fairy of Paradise, the Avalon Lafay, will fulfill her duty of her own volition. Even if someone convinces her this is ridiculous. And we should all just give up and enjoy the time we have left. Besides, we all have no choice but to come to Avalon. There's a spirit cavern that leads to the planet's inner sea from the corpse of Albion, the border dragon that sank into the dark bog. Now that Britain has begun to collapse, the path should be open again. All you need to do is go spelunking for 1 hour. Okay. That said, we're still talking about the largest holy ground in the Magecraft world. We won't let just anyone in. Meine Nase juckt. But it should be open for Imoda as a representative of humanity, Mesh as a knight of the round table. Fairy of Paradise, and I guess there's room for our attendant Muramasa as well. The rest of you will have to wait there until they get back. Oh, jetzt krabbelt die Nase, jetzt krabbelt das Ohr, oder was? Was ist denn hier los? Was ist denn heute los? Es ist heute Tag des Krabbelns. Ich glaube auch, ey. Oh Gott. Well, Gordolf, what would you have us do? What else can we possibly do, Captain? Set a course for the Dark Borg at once. That was in the Lake District, right? You know the coordinates, technical advisor. Sure do, that part won't be a problem. But apparently the only ones who can enter this spirit cavern are the 4 Merlin specified, man. Jetzt geht's los. That's not a lot of fighters for a trip as potentially dangerous as this, and it's not even mentioning how much I wanted to see this for myself. But it looks like we don't have any other choice but to send them off and trust things will work out. Are you ready to go, Imoto? Imoto! I'm okay, but I'm not sure about Atria. Aber wir gehen mal mit unten. Are you alright, Atria? I think I'll be fine. Besides, I just ended up fighting with Grimmer if I said no. And you know, thinking about it some more, I'm actually kind of excited. This basically be my first time visiting home. Understood, I'll update our strategy to include Merlin's instructions. Imoto Mesh, Altria, Senji Muramasa. Before we'll make your way through the Spirit Cavern and head for the planet's inner sea, the paradise of Avalon. The Stormboard will remain on station above the Lake District. Captain Nemo and Da Vinci will focus on piloting the border. If anything should try to attack us, Kuruma and I will fend them off. Wait, please. This is all new and unfamiliar to me, so I doubt I'll be of much help. Hey Smokey! How's it going? Hope your stream is going well. Yeah, pretty much, it just started out. Hope you also have a great day. What time you have though? For me it's almost midnight, so you have late shift right now. Going good, brother? It's good to hear, it's good to hear. Yeah, I have late shift right now, so I'm pretty much having like, it's 5 PM. Well, it's afternoon, right? It's almost evening for you at least. But yeah, I'm having like pretty much what is it? Night heavy? Night heavy? Whatever. Well, crazy, yeah. I need to drive the story a bit forward, so yeah. I'm Well, mostly I don't have much time in late shift, so whatever, right? I'm mostly playing more FGO because it's something I can play like in a short time. Nothing where I'm bound like pretty much in a round or something that goes on and on. So yeah, I think it's also pretty relaxing for the evening because we really have thin walls and stuff. Yeah, and so I also it's better to have something where I don't can overreact because I can be pretty much loud all the time. If I have like playing like VOT and stuff, I playing like World of Tanks like a lot recently. I got pretty much infected for whatever reason, but hey, it's fun. So yeah. Ooh, getting some tea. So. But Britain is my home. It's only right that I should take part in any battles we may face. Hell yeah, pretty much. So, and yeah, I think some reading material like visual novel style, it's far better suited for late night or midnight, right? So my neighbors can get woken up at least. But not that I... Gut! Alter. Fuck my life. Jurik! And here I'm telling about being quiet. Fuck me. Hey Jurik, tolle Socke. Na, bist du aus angekommen? Hast du was zu futtern gemacht? Huh? Absolutely not. If anything, you should be resting right now. You're in no shape to be fighting anymore, right? No, Iron. Your only job now is to get the treatment you need and recuperate until you're back to your old self. That's an order from the Child of Prophecy. Got it? If you even think about firing me on this, I completely abandon my duty. Is that clear? Ha! Yes, Child of Prophecy, I follow your orders. I have to say though, I never thought that I'd see the day you got seriously mad at me. Ja, besser ist das. You've always been one to keep your feelings in check and not make a fuss. I know what you mean. Ha, you think? I thought I've always been pretty open and forthcoming with my feelings personally. Sure, whenever you're just turning your brain off and doing something stupid, the rest of the time you pretend to be a big old nervous Nelly. What do you mean I've never done anything stupid? It was this nervous Nelly anyway, Murdermaster. Hey, Levi! Oh, was für... Ich hab fast Riegel. Riz, how's it going? Geht, versteht schon, dass du reinschaust. Alles gut bei dir? Und das zur späten Stunde. Bam, bam, bam. Welcome to the late night show, I would say, right? Because here it's almost midnight. Welcome back, and hope you have a great afternoon. Afternoon, at least if it's for you. For me, it's evening though. Like we discussed earlier, we'll be standing by in a storm border in the Lake District airspace. We expect the operation to take about 3 hours. That's all the time the ship, no, Britain has left. We have no way of knowing what will happen in the spirit cavern. So please try to be as careful as you possibly can, Imoto. Got it. Entering the spirit cavern inside Albion. Now. Why not? Let's go! That felt different from the water mirror that sent me to the past in Norwich. Does this mean we're inside Albion's spirit cavern now? Can we still contact Chaldear? No, we can't. Cut off now, just as Da Vinci predicted. Gasping coordinate data now. 10, 20, 40, 80, 80? Master, you're not going to believe this, but it looks like we're 80 kilometer below ground now. Fuck! Damn, that's even deeper than the pit. A lot deeper. Are we even sure this is underground? It's completely pitch dark and doesn't even feel like I'm standing on anything. You're not wrong, this world is in a whole other layer, another dimension to put it simply. We were just able to bypass all the ground in the way thanks to Albion. But we warned that it goes much deeper. And proper human history, the 80-kilometer mark is where Albion gave up the ghost. But in this lost build-up we managed to make a route all the way to Avalon. Unfortunately, the path wasn't wide enough for Albion to get through, so they still died on the surface. You mean there's a spirit cavern like this in proper human history too? That's right, though. Over there, it's known as the spiritual tomb. In proper human history, the spiritual tomb of Albion ends at 80-kilometer mark. Beyond that is a world known as the fairy realm, which no human can enter. But since the British Lost Build is all this world's fairy realm, there are no such restrictions here. So we can keep going down as far as we like. In real world distance, you're starting at the 400-kilometer mark and going further down the Beyond D, layer 2700 kilometer away. It is where you will find your destination, the planet's inner sea. Wait, so we're 80 kilometer below ground now? The destination is 2700 kilometer below ground? How the hell can we cover that kind of a distance? Simply, you take a shortcut. When I said take an hour, I wasn't basing that on how fast you travel. When it's how long it take, period. Okay. I use a series of transit time reduction spells to bring you all to your destination. Anyway, this must be pretty dull for you. How about we turn on the lights? Ja gut, Licht! Oh! Holy. Whoa, this is a cave now. So, what do you think? Doesn't this feel more like a cavern? Foo? Now go on, keep moving. The transit time reduction I mentioned is kicking in with every step you take. This place is Earth's memory, well, more like a space of pure information. Really. The idea is to skip past all the vague, hazy memories and get you straight to your destination. Herrgott, ein wildes Spit ist aufgetaucht! Ein Spit-Kuscho! Wie geht's, wie steht's? Schön, dass du reinschaust, du olle Sogge! Noch wach, hä? Was hast du bisher so Schönes getrieben, du Sogge? Hoch und runter, hoch und runter. Machst du auch so zu Hause immer die Kniebeuge, hä? That should be a huge help, but, is that Merlin's third time she's asked? So finally shown us what you really look like. Huh? Something wrong? Oh, I see. I struck dump by my true glory. I get it. Whoop whoop. Very well then, heap your praise upon me. You can even worship me if you like, Muttermaster. Stardew Valley spielen seit 16 Uhr? Ja gut. Aber ich muss ehrlich sagen, Stardew Valley zieht den auch ganz gerne mal rein, ne? Ich müsste es mir echt mal auf Steam eigentlich irgendwann mal holen. Es gibt ja auch einen Multiplayer da, ne? It's been a long time since I've shown up after all. I need to leave as strong an impression as possible, given the short time I have. Do it! Oder ich lass Flo es tun! Dann können wir zusammen farmen, ja richtig, ne? Well, I'm not gonna be the one to tell them. This is hilarious. Good point. You probably shouldn't pry too deeply into this. More importantly, Senpai, that mirror over there. Und bei dir läuft alles in Stardew Valley dann rund, würde ich mal behaupten, hoffentlich. Yeah, it's the same as the one in Ladinium. Oh, are you seeing the priest's memories projected there? Perfect. I take the hour you will be traveling to tell you how this all began. Ja, ganz gut, wie es Ihnen geht. Ja, mir geht's auch supi, ne? Also ich muss mir ab und zu mal wie immer beim Vorlesen ja Tee einfüllen. Kennst du ja nicht anders. Weil sonst der Mund bei mir, oder besser gesagt nicht der Mund, sondern der Hals eher trocken macht, weißt du? Nee, danke. Richtig geil. Ey, das Geile, was mir aufgefallen ist, ne? Bei uns in der Firma hast du übelst den krassen Dampfer drinne, was ja eigentlich alles mögliche an Viecher tötet, ne? Und bei uns haben die ja so ein Projekt momentan laufen, dass die auch Schafe und so draußen haben wollen und auch Bienenstöcke und so eine Scheiße. Und die haben so einen Bienenbau und der steht die ganze Zeit bei uns in der Halle. Und das zusammen, das ist zwar eine relativ große Halle, aber zusammen mit der scheiß Wasserstrahle, weißt du, die Wasserstrahle, das ist so, wenn ich da in die Nähe gehe, kriege ich Kopfschmerzen, weißt du. Und Leute haben da schon Nasenbluten bekommen, weißt du, und der Bienenstock sozusagen, die Hütte, wo die dann die Bienen reinmachen wollen, steht die ganze Zeit bei dem scheiß Ding da, weißt du, und saugt sich voll mit den Chemikalien. Und ich frage mich, wie die Bienen das finden, wenn es soweit ist. Sinn, wo ist der Sinn? Ich sehe nicht. Ja, sag ich ja, sag ich. Das ist halt richtig. Das saugt sich bestimmt schön voll das Holz mit dem Scheiß. Das freut die Bienen bestimmt. This is the story of the British Lost Belt Genesis and of what precisely the Fairies of Paradise mission entails. Aber Tee mit 8000 Tonnen Koffein, sehe ich so aus, als bräuchte ich Koffein. Der Enchi braucht Koffein, damit er mal aus seinem scheiß Stuhl rauskommt. Ja, 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 ja. Ich und Koffein, ich trinke nicht mal Kaffee. Ja, das tust du. It became an ocean at the end. There was ocean at the beginning. Als ob ich, da weißt du, wie lange ich schon kein Koffein mehr getrunken habe. Ich habe früher ab und zu mir meine Energy, aber selbst das war selten. Das habe ich mir meistens nur zur Nachtschicht gegönnt. Wenn wir dann durchgemacht haben, war das auch schon 5 Jahre her. Irgendwann wird man zu alt für den Scheiß, Mann. After the shooting star passed, the land all run into rivers. So, und ich fülle nur mal kurz nach. Gib ihm! Oh, sehr schön, Tierchen. Ich habe seit 2022 nicht mehr wegen Herz, ja. Besser ist das, ne? Ansonsten denkt dein Herz, es wird zu einer Hydraulikpumpe. Long, long ago, as far back as time can go, 6 fairies went outside to find the world had become an ocean. This is awful, they thought. What terror our world has become. Then a large shadow rose up from the ocean. Ab wegen Arbeit, glaube ich, pro Tag so 4 bis... Weswegen auch immer habe ich da so dieses Kack-Symbol drüber, deswegen habe ich 4 bis 6 nicht richtig lesen können. Also die 4 auf jeden Fall, bei der 6 war ich mir nicht so sicher, was es war. Aber ja gut. 4 bis 6, Alter. Was hast du dir damit alles schon zerschossen? Aber das Schlimme ist, vom Jurik, den Arbeitskollege, der den auch immer ablöst, der sozusagen nach uns dran ist, der ist genauso schlimm, ey, der frisst die Dinge auf wie nichts. It belonged to a giant fluffy creature. On its shoulder stood one of the animals the fairies believed was gone. 6 fairies and the gods soon became friends. It wasn't easy living on the ocean, there was nowhere to go and nothing to do. But the god made things better for the 6 fairies by sheltering them from the waves. The ocean without waves is nice, but we still miss having land. So the 6 fairies offered the god their joy. And they offered the god their wish. Then they offered the god himself. The fuck? Die haben die... Gott ist... Alter. Fuck. And so the fairies' wish was granted. Die haben ja einen Gott geopfert. Und der haut sich so... Also... Was Schnitt 3 bis 4 Dosen Energie täglich rein. Das sag ich ja, Das. Der bestellt sich das Scheiß wahrscheinlich palettenweise, weißt du? And then after the rejoicing ended. Oh. They tricked the god into drinking poisoned wine. And he died. The fuck? Das ist ja wie wir was wir erst hatten bei Map. 2022 habe ich eine Menge in Kaffee und Energy, danach nicht mehr, weil ich bemerkt habe, wie ich mein Herz wie abgeht und wegen den Stress. Ja, klar. Klar, Mann. Ich sag mal, alles in Maßen, ne? Das gilt wirklich für alles. Für Essen, für Koffein, für Alkohol. Ne? And so the fairies acquired the god's body. They made the body into a land on which they could live. They were grateful to be able to make use of the crying, screaming animal the god left behind. Who's no pain, no gain, ich glaube auch, ey. She was the only human, but once simply wasn't enough. So being very careful not to kill her, they cut her to pieces? What the fuck? They cast a spell on her to make sure she wouldn't die no matter what they did, and used every last piece of her. Ja, ist ja kein Wunder, dass Cernunnos pissed ist, Mann. Thus did the Isle of Britain come into being, thus did the great mistake begin. The fuck, da ist der Story ab? Ja, ich denke mir auch. May the first 6 fairies find salvation. May the first 6 fairies be cursed for all time. Das ist ja kein Wunder, dass der pisst ist, der Typ, Mann. Wär ich auch? Holy fucking moly. There you have it. You may have heard it before, but that's the story of Britain's creation. Ah, what? Ach, das ist erst der Anfang. Das wird doch heftig, Alter. Was? Any questions? That's not how I remember it. Indeed, the first 6 fairies, the progenitors of the 6 clans, killed Cernunnos. The pit you saw on the surface is Cernunnos' grave. The curse spilling out of it, even as we speak, is his rage. Why would the fairies do such a thing? Weil die ziemlich bekloppt sind. Will ich jetzt einfach mal so behaupten. He was in the way. This is all happened 14,000 years ago. What the fuck? Der hat dir geholfen, Mann. Und das ist so ein Scheiß. When the 6 fairies came out from paradise and under the surface, Earth was already covered in a sea of nothingness. The one who ended up helping the 6 stranded fairies was a Celtic beast god who had come up to the surface just like they had. The god who would later come to be known as Cernunnos. Cernunnos and his priestess, the lone human who had managed to survive just like the fairies had, both did their best to protect the fairies. Was jeder Isekai? Ja gut, das hört sich nach einem ganz beschissenen Isekai an. Sind wir hier bei Besuch bei Attack on Titans oder Guts oder was? Holy moly, also Berserk will ich auch nicht leben wollen, ne? At first the fairies were grateful for their help. But the sea of nothingness never changed. No matter how much time passed, no land appeared. Fairies blamed Cernunnos for that. They thought they just wasn't strong enough. What's more, they didn't particularly like his priestess. Ja, das haben wir festgestellt. She was constantly telling them to sort themselves out and consider the consequences of their actions. Wait. Child of Prophecy. Das gibt Child of Prophecy Vibes. Ich sag nur ReZero, Return to Death ist auch nicht besser. Ja, ich weiß, ey, Alter. Was die mit dem Typen da anstellen, das ist richtig heftig. Ich müsste das Light Novel eigentlich mal wieder neu bestellen. Ich habe ja relativ weit gelesen. Und das war sozusagen eins der Light Novels, die ich auch wirklich wo ich auch erstmal schon alle Bücher durchgelesen habe, die ich auch da habe. Mit, sagen wir mal, was? Danmachi muss ich ja das Light Novel noch komplett lesen. Eventually the fairies couldn't take it anymore and decided to deal with Cernunnos permanently. Ey Ray, das wär's ja, weißt du, wenn ich dann Vorlesestunde mache. Wenn ich dann Light Novel Stunde mache, könnte man eigentlich auch machen, oder? They figured that since they didn't have any land to stand on, they could find a substitute. And since Cernunnos was so big, they thought their body could serve just fine as a small island. Da kotzen wir, Mann. Ratter, Mann. Jetzt geht's los hier. Wird abgelehnt, sehe ich schon. But of course Cernunnos was a god. They couldn't kill him easily, so they came up with a plan and held a festival. No, nicht wie Henshi. Echt, Henshi macht? Henshi liest vor, oder was? Also eher mehr für mich, weil ich habe gefühlt 0 Zeit großartig. Es ist einfach nur, damit ich dazu komme, die Dinger selber zu lesen, weißt du? They told Colonels they were holding the festival in his honor to worship him and had a banquet with lots of wine. Ja, mach doch eine ASMR-Stream, das ist schon ja gut. ASMR-Stream werde ich in der Zukunft nicht machen, aber ich denke mal, ich werde ab und zu mal Videos raushauen auf YouTube, für YouTube halt, ne? Für den Algorithmus, um den ein bisschen zu pushen für so 30 Minuten Videos oder so. Das wird auf jeden Fall mal kommen, wenn dann irgendwann wenn Sash dann mit dem Model fertig ist, mit dem 3D-Model, weißt du? Cernunnos was delighted that he was being celebrated for being the fairy's first official god. Lesen kann man ja auch ASMR. Ja, wenn du so die ganze Zeit so flüsterst, aber ich finde das interessanter mit allgemeinen Geräuschen. He probably figured they were trying to change the thoughtless ways. Ja, als ob! And so against his priest's wishes, Cernunnos attended the banquet and was poisoned to death when he drank the wine. Some rejoicing that turned out to be... Ja, das ist Déjà-vu, ja? What about the priestess? What happened to her? The fairies used her as the foundation, not a base or ingredient for the humans that came later. Stell dir vor, Henshi flüstert dir ins Ohr, oh Gott! Nein! Nein! Einfach nur nein! Nee, aber wenn ich ASMR mache, mache ich nur Voice ASMR. Das heißt halt wirklich nur rein Geräusch-based. Ich mag zum Beispiel hier so eher Essengeräusche. Oh Gott, mag ich überhaupt nicht. Genauso wie Ear-Licking und oh nee, Gottes Willen, hau mir ab. Wann sie machen Bodypaint? Alter, du kannst Fatten Bodypainten kannst du machen. The truth is, every human in British Lost Build is an inferior copy of the priestess who was killed during Britain's Genesis. Ja, Bodypaint, hau mit dem Scheiß ab. At any rate, as A-Ray, the six fairies went on to create their own stone and forest children and grow their clans. As time passed, they transformed more and more of Cernunnos body into land. Wait. Also das auch mit denen, dass die Fairies sich gegenseitig umbringen und da mehr Landmasse dazu gekommen ist, auch nicht wirklich hin, oder? Von der Geschichte her. But after 100 years, things stopped going quite so well for the fairies. Their children kept dying, turning into fallen trees adrift on the sea. New generations kept being born, so the number of fairies never decreased. And thanks to the humans who had been copied from the pieces cells, Britain slowly developed into a civilization. With civilization came new societal roles. The fairies made the new types of fairies. The forest flourished like never before. Die ich dir gesendet habe, wurde, so wie ich es von Luca gesagt habe, gesperrt. Ah, ja. Ja gut, ne, selber schuld. Ist halt risikofreundlich, ne? Unnötig. So ist halt unnötig. Ich weiß nur, Ray, weißt du doch die eine Olle, die auf Twitch sich hat besorgen lassen? Gebannt wurde für 2-3 Tage, dann wieder da war und dann das gleiche wiederholt hat? But he also kept dying for no reason whatsoever. Eventually, the 6 progenitor fairies realized Cernunnos rage was the cause. Even though Cernunnos' soul was gone, his body wasn't completely dead. In fact, his heart alone still burned with the fire they used to cremate him. Jupp, Henshi levelt um, ich glaube auch, ey. Even in his death, Cernunnos' body continued to smolder with anger and curses. Could have very well have come back to life at any time. The fairies were so shocked by this that they fled Cernunnos' body. Fortunately, this was right around the time that children's corpses were starting to form a new ground. Ah, okay, jetzt erst. Inferior corpses are essentially made from the same stuff as the planet itself. Fallen trees became earth and stone and quickly filled in the sea, almost as if they were trying to cover up the fairy's sins. Ja, gut, ne? Schön totschweigen, schön Gras drauf wachsen lassen, nicht wahr, Ray? That's how this lost bit began. That's why this Isle of Britain uses fairy corpses to grow and expand. You wanna know what? Was denn? After several thousand years, the fairies had acquired their very own Britain. But all the while Cernunnos' body was still there. A divine grave that would let no ocean-filling fallen tree near it. An indelible reminder of the fairy's sin, a reminder that rejected their corpses. Eventually the fallen trees blocked off the ocean's water for good, and Cernunnos' body was left behind at the bottom of the sea. That is the true nature of the pit. It's not actually a pit, it's the remains of a patch of a dried up ocean. Okay? An island made by killing a god. Fairy's original sin. It wasn't just Cernunnos they killed, but the priests who served him as well. Wenn dann richtig, ne? Oh, she wasn't just killed, she was desecrated and used as a tool for all these 14,000 years. Jetzt spuck's aus, Ray! No wonder Cernunnos was so pissed. And hoped even killing every fairy in Britain would be enough to satisfy him. Ja, yep. Machst du jetzt auf Händchen und schreibst 3000 Jahre oder was? Hello, why did he come to the surface anyway? So gute Frage, ne? Isn't it kind of narrow-minded to curse the whole damn world just because you got killed? Especially after you went out of your way to get involved with the fairies? Ich glaube, das ist eher wegen der Priestess. That's probably because Cernunnos was an envoy of paradise sent to reprimand the fairies. Oh, okay. It was the whole reason he came here, to punish them. Warum war er denn nett zu denen? I don't think his heart was in it though. Ja, das haben wir schon festgestellt. Like this mural shows, Cernunnos was a very kind god by nature. But the fairies might have found him terrifying simply because he existed. So his whole purpose of coming here was to reprimand the fairies? That's right, that's the point where this lost belt diverged from proper human history and its greatest mistake. You see, 14,000 years ago was the greatest turning point for all of humanity. Maybe you heard something about the planetary envoy that almost destroyed Earth's past ancient civilization back on Olympus. The fuck is shit! Ich kann dir was? Ich kann dir Abo geben, weil Kick sagt nee. Hä? Wie? Wie meinst du? Ja. Ist hier ein wildes Matti aufgetaucht oder was? Ja, Tatsache, kein. Ja gut. The fuck? Das ist das. Nein, hier gibt's kein Abo. Nein, noch kein Matti. Na, Matti, wie geht's, wie steht's? Schönen Spattenabend dir. Na, was hast du bisher so Schönes getrieben? Und willkommen zu einer Runde FTO. Wir sind gerade in Story Mode, especially fucked up. Yes, we did it. It was a white civilization destroying giant named Sephar, who fell from a shooting star. Der Umber ist da, hä? Ich frag mich bloß, von welcher Geschichte wir gerade reden. Altera und so, ne? Also alle, die die Fate-Reihe ein bisschen kennen, wissen eigentlich, worum es sich hier handelt. Besonders mit Fate Dumbristar oder Fate Extella Link, was wir ja gerade durch Zufall spielen. Weil das sozusagen dieser Gigant, damit ist Altera, also der Umbristar selber gemeint. Das ist ein Zivilisationsvernichter oder ein Planetentöter. Ist, wenn sozusagen die Zivilisation ein Point of No Return erreicht hat, wo...
Sei leise und mach bitte sonst...
Nein! Gibt's nicht! Alter! Sephar wiped out countless of pantheons and almost destroyed every civilization on Earth. In the end, it was humans who managed to defeat it, not gods. I heard they did use a divine construct. Weapons made in the planet's inner sea meant to combat planetary threats. Yeah, darn it, huh? I also heard that the Sacred Sword Excalibur was the greatest such weapon and that it was. Aber ey, wenn du willst, du hast du unten den Dono-Button und ich kann ja auch, ich kann ja selber, glaube ich, kann ich Abos verschenken? Alter, ey. Ja, kann ich. Alter, was zur Hölle? Was zur Hölle machst du da? Bist du auf deine Tastatur gefallen oder was? Alter, bist du verarscht, Junge? Ja, okay, also ich könnte wirklich, also, aber das habe ich ja eh in meinem Discord schon allgemein geschrieben, also du kannst doch eine Dono geben vom selben Wert und dann verschenke ich einfach ein Abo. So ist es nicht, ne? Kannst du auch gerne machen. I also heard that the sacred sword Excalibur was the greatest such weapon and that it was. Ja, Junge, Mann, halt die Fresse! Ne, Alter. That it was created in Britain. Aber das ist natürlich auch ein bisschen fucked up, dass Kick so nee sagte. That's right, I just realized that nobody here was ever mentioning it. The very idea of a sacred sword just doesn't exist in this version of Britain. So that must mean Excalibur was never made here. That's right, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what happened as a result. In this what-if world, humanity never had the means to defeat Zephyr. That's why they were wiped out. Zephyr destroyed all the planet's landmass and took them for itself, leaving only a sea of nothingness with few aquatic life forms. So why was the sacred sword never made? The reason for that is both exceedingly simple and unsurprising. Its creator slacked off. The A-ray, that is, the six phase we were supposed to forge in the planet's inner sea, decided it would be okay to take a day off, just this once, and went off to have fun. It was only once they noticed something had gone wrong with the world, went up to the surface that they realized the consequences of their choices. But I figured there was no changing the past and refused to accept that the world's destruction was their fault. Ray, kommt dir das bekannt vor? Kommt dir das bekannt vor? Mir kommt das relativ bekannt vor. Das Konzept. No? No? Fängt mit O an. Fängt mit W an und endet mit Omen. Ich sag nur den Red Pill Scheiß. The Colonel is the one god who had taken shelter in paradise to keep his priestess safe. Was sent to reprimand them and make them atone for their sins. And don't please leave me alone. Sir, please leave me alone. Warte damit. But then the Fairies killed Carnanos and his priestess, the last surviving human. At that point, they could no longer return to the planet's inner sea. Ja, ich wundere mich nur, warum. Die wurden ausgesperrt, die Ficker. Only those free of sin may pass, meaning only fairies without sin can go to paradise. Wo mein Donate-Sound ist? Ich glaube, das funktioniert hier nicht. Oder zumindest nicht über Kick, also ich habe keine Ahnung. Weil das ist ja, das ist ja extra, aber, warte mal. Schenk kein Abo. Hallo? Ich klick gerade drauf. Wird nur Abonnenten, nur Emotes. Fuck. Ich kann kein Abo verschenken. Das steht doch da, verschenk kein Abo. Ich klick drauf, da passiert nichts. Willst du mich verarschen? Warte mal, ich will fresh mal. Fuck. Das meinte ich. The fuck? Warte mal. War bereits aktiviert. Oh. Warte mal. Ich glaube, ich habe was vergessen. Hä, habe ich das nicht aktiviert? Ich habe das doch aktiviert. Bereits aktiviert. Ja, warte mal. Das steht bei mir hier rot wie Kreuzstrich in deinem Konto. Du musst eine bestätigte Telefonnummer haben. Du musst 2 FA in deinem Konto aktiviert haben. The fuck? Fuck. Warte, jetzt muss ich mal gucken. Jetzt bin ich richtig verwirrt. Jetzt bin ich ultra verwirrt, Mann. Warte mal, ich komme erstmal zurück, Alter. Ich per dir, was? Warte mal, aber sagt no, aber richtig. Warte mal, geh weg. Tori, der neue Henschi. Hä, aber ich hab das doch aktiviert, den Kack. Ich hab den Kack doch aktiviert. Das ist das erste Mal, dass ich so einen Scheiß lese. Herzlichen Glückwunsch, dass Sie für die Abonnenten bei Kick zugelassen wurden. Wir freuen uns sehr über das Wachstum Ihres Kanals zu bieten und Ihnen bestimmte Umsätze, blablabla. Ab sofort erhalten Sie 100% Ihrer Abonnenteneinnahmen. Abzug der Stripe-Gebühren. Dies entspricht für blablabla Abonnenten. Ja gut. Fuck. Wo trage ich das ein? Warte mal, ich gehe mal, warte mal, Profil. Ich gehe mal kurz auf mein eigenes Profil. Jetzt geht's los hier. Benutzernamen. Hä? Warte mal. Ah! Jetzt muss ich QR-Code scannen? Ich hab nicht mal eine App dafür. Pff, Alter, nee. Nee, ist nicht, Mann. Das mache ich später. Nee, das ist der, Weißt du, warum das ist? Das ist dieser Zweifach-Authentification, wie bei Twitch das Ding ist. Ja, ich glaube auch, ey. Nee, aber ich habe ja nicht mal... Ich habe nicht mal eine App zum Scannen. Für fucking QR-Codes, Mann. Ich habe noch nie QR-Codes benutzt, Mann. Als ob, Alter. Downstream, wenn ich das definitiv... Seht das ja dann, weißt du? Nee, danke. It's the same for all of Britain's ferries, as they are all descended from the original 6. Ja gut, wieder was dazugelernt. None of them can enter the planet's inner sea, and so they continue to suffer on the island of sin to return. So a single lapse in judgment ended the world? Pretty much. That's right. It all started with the sacred sword never being made. Eventually, ferries chosen from the planet's inner sea were sent to the surface to correct this mistake. The first one was Vivian and the second one was Ucaster. Die sind überall, wie du nicht benutzt hast. Selbst Covid hat online QR-Code. The fuck? The fuck, Mann? Sehe ich so aus, als würde ich QR-Codes benutzen? Sehe ich so aus, Mann? Nee. Nee, Mann. Your mission is to have the 6 clans admit to their mistake and inherit the mystic needed to create the sacred sword. Du leben unter Steinen und sind jetzt Patrick. Ja gut. Lieber Patrick als QR-Code, Mann. The bells of pilgrimage indicate that the clan heads have accepted their sins. The fairy who rings all of them becomes the sacred sword itself. Oh, jetzt geht's los. But this morning Vivian refused to do that. After all, once the sacred sword was made, the very premise on which this lost spirit is built would cease to be. I'm sure you learned about this yourself when you rang the bell in Orkney, Caster. In spite of that, you continued on your path, defeated Morgan, and now you're here with Timono. You must have had to face down so many doubts to come this far. In fact, you may never be entirely free of them. But even so, you're still here, which is why I believe you have what it takes to see this through the end. Jurik, was? Wo hast du den gefunden? Du hast doch nie Quittung. Was? Quittung zurückbringen? Frag mal Jurik, ob er QR-Codes benutzt. Frag. Anyway, I know that was a lot of talking, but we're almost at our destination now. The convictions of the last dragon are waiting up ahead to see if you are qualified to proceed. Only those free of sin may pass. Ja, tue ich, aber selten. Da, Alter. Jetzt geht's los hier. The sin doesn't refer to the original sin you're born with, or the sins you've committed in your life thus far. It refers to what you are about to do and what your hearts are resolved to know. Ich glaube, ich habe nur ein einziges Mal in meinem Leben QR-Code eingesendet und danach habe ich die, oder eingescannt und danach habe ich die scheiß App wieder gelöscht, weil es mir zu dumm war. It's your reason for living, your principle for existence and prosperity. Alter. Ja, für die ein, zwei Mal vielleicht. The way to the land of hope will only open for those who demonstrate true strengths in these regards. Ja gut, guck ich mir später an. It's gone, everything on the surface is gone. The sky, the sea, life, everything I've seen. Da kann ich nur das sagen. Jetzt geht's los. My records will never again grow in number. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water. They turn the freaking frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the freaking frogs gay. Some crap gay. Frogs, freaking frogs. It's not funny. Ganz witzig nicht. Gay frogs. Bam, bada, bam, bada. Bam, bada, bam, bada. Would you fight for your life? Bam, bada, bam, bada. Gay frogs, freaking frogs. I don't like your frogs. Bam, badam, badam. Gay freaking frogs. Frogs. Bam, bada, bam, badam. Freaking frogs, crap. Would you fight the frogs? Bam, bada, bam, badam. Nicht witzig. Frogs! I will never again know new joys. You who would choose sacred sword wielder, you who would chant the king's name. If you seek a new world and leave all traces of the old behind. My name is and I'm the last dragon, Albion, the one who chooses to continue flying above the ground instead of returning to the inner sea. Ja, these nuts kriegst du gleich, aber richtig. If you can overcome these tears, I will offer my heart to the forger of stars. Geht's los hier. Bam, bam. Okay. Ah. Aha, Melusine. Wenn wir gegen Melusine kämpfen. Na komm. Merlin dazu. Yes. Einmal bitte. Einmal bitte. Let's fighto! Level 6. Sein Name ist Zensierung. Ich würde mal sagen Albion. Weil wir kämpfen jetzt gegen Melusine. Also kann es ja so gut sein. Das ist das Loch, das hat Albion gemacht. Das kann ja nur Albion sein, verflucht. Aber wer soll das heute sein? Fatal Battle. Yep. Red Dragon. Wait, Albion war aber blau, oder? Wenn attacked, ja danke. Die Lochbrüder, ich glaube auch, ey. Warte mal, Pipipito. Musukashida, ne? Ja. Jimbi war. Wow, Crit. Die Chance zu kritten, naja. Relaxe. Tanne mal so. So, 200. Zack. Und boom. Das wird jetzt richtig hoffentlich wehtun. Hoffentlich. Weißt du, was du machen musst? Smash or Pass. Mit den Servants oder was? Kusanagi no Tachi. Mit den Servants oder was? So. Ich hab's fast mit dem mal geschafft, ja? Ich glaube auch, ey. Das müssen wir ja echt verärgern. Ach, warum nur? Warte mal. Ja, Happy End, Happy End, ey. So, ich will mal ein bisschen Tee nochmal nachfüllen. Garden of Avalon. Oh komm, jetzt hoffen bitte, dass noch einmal Crit. Bitte Crit. 60% Crit-Chancen. Na und so, Caliban. Wupp, 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 wupp. Komm, Crit. Na, verflucht, war ja so klar, Mann. Genau, Mann. Ach, komm schon. Ey, fucking ernst jetzt. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. By the psycho killer inside. Gut, dass ich noch Invincible drauf habe. Oder Anti-Enforcement. Ja, dann na. Danke. So, jetzt aber. Ich mach dich kaputt. Und das willst du oder nicht? Weg mit dir, rote Albion. Usanagi no Tachi. Aber vor allem, wie viele Servants es gibt. Die Frage ist, wie machen wir das? Ich überhaupt. Kann ich überhaupt die Servants einschauen, die ich auch nicht habe? Weiß es gar nicht. Das Schlimme ist bei den Servants, da gibt es ja eigentlich nur die Welle, die ich nicht. Und die Welle sind die einzigen, die ich passen würde. Außer Natur, gut, es gibt vielleicht Baus, aber ey, reden wir nicht drüber, ne? Ah, I can hear the bells tolling. My heart may have stopped, but yours yet beats strong. Welcome home, Avalon LaFay. May the sound of hope echo into the future. Jetzt geht's los, Mann. Oh, viel lustiger wärst du, wenn wir mit Special Pass was mit den Pokémon machen, oder? Pokémon? Das wäre doch viel geiler, oder? Also Mel ist mehr. Nee, Mann. Nee, Mann. Als ob, ey. Is that the light from outside? Ey, aber Special Pass mit Pokémon wäre doch viel lustiger. That's right. That's the entrance to the planets in the sea. Digimon, oh Gott, Digimon. Obwohl, da gibt's auch schon ein paar Biers, oder? This is the land of the young, Tyr and Anok, the eternal spring. This is the place many life forms have dreamed of finding. Welcome to an Avalon whose time has come. This is where the journey of the planet's birth ends. Ja gut. Sind wir jetzt Kapitel 2? Ich glaub schon. Nehm ich. Oh ja, besser für dich ist Special Pass, Word of Time. Oh, wo sind wir denn hier gelandet? Mensch, das sieht so richtig krass aus hier. Word of Text, Mann. Vor allem, weil ich die ganzen guten Texte doch gar nicht kenne, weißt du? Ja, wo würdest du den Rüssel in den Rüssel stecken, ne? Und was ist, wenn dann der Rüssel dann abdrückt? Dann hast du ein ganz schön gewisses, größeres Loch in deinen eigenen Rüssel. Ich war Candyland. Eigentlich sind es Blumen, aber hey, erzähl mal's mal keinem. Avalon LaFay. The moment the planet is born. Nee, und wir haben uns ja halt die 2 Premium-Panzer geholt auf Tier 8 halt, ne? Und die machen sich richtig krass. Also ich sag mal, wenigstens mehr der eine, aber der andere ist, der ist so ein mittlerer, der ist gut zum Lernen, aber auch gedacht, ne? Und. Aber das spielt sich komplett anders auf Tier 8, sag ich dir gleich. Also es ist ein gewaltiger Unterschied zu Tier 6 und drunter. Weil du hast einfach das Krasse, die Leute kennen sich auf wesentlich mehr aus. Wie kaufst du denn einen Tier 8, eine T8? Ja, du musst auf die Website selber gehen. Du hast die Website ja von Wargames. Und da hast du ja dann unter dem Shop hast du ja dann World of Tanks und dann hast du Fahrzeuge. Und da hast du dann die ganzen die Tanks. This is where probably in history King Arthur is said to have gone after he died. Also, wenn du eine zum Farmen haben willst, kann ich dir die Su 130 empfehlen. Weil das ist halt ein Sniper. Das ist ein TD, also ein Jagdpanzer. Und das ist einer, der ist relativ simpel, hat kaum Rüstung, aber richtig gute Tarnwerte und der bumst doch richtig gut durch. Und damit kannst du halt relativ gut Cash halt bekommen auch, ne? Es ist also richtig krass. Also die letzten 2 Tage habe ich richtig viel, so 1 Million gemacht. Und das mit dem, was ich überhaupt Zeit hatte neben dem Stream, ne? Sniper! Ja, richtig geil, ey, das Ding. It's the biggest flower garden I've ever seen. Right, there's no such thing as evil in paradise. Ich will Full-Body Counter haben. Na dann hol dir einen Heavy, Mann. Aber wenn du den Heavy holen willst, da brauchst du, glaube ich, den Skoda T56. Das Problem, ich und Jurek wollten den eigentlich kaufen, haben aber, Kumpel hat nur gemeint, ja Skoda, kauf dir den Skoda. Aber dann haben wir den T26 gekauft, weil der als erstes da war und da haben wir festgestellt, das war nicht der richtige. Ja gut, ein dicker Fehl, Alter. Was, ein Skoda? Ja, es gibt auch einen Skoda als Tank. Ja, die 27 haben wir gekauft, das stand die 56, richtig frech. It's a separate world that neither influenced nor is influenced by the surface, no matter how apocalyptic things may be out there. All here is hope. This place is a workshop that weaves together all possibilities to lead this planet and you guys to a happy ending. That being said, these are still only the remnants of Avalon, a shadow being projected into the bridge Lost build. Ja, aber ich sag mal, der T27 ist halt auch ziemlich flink drauf, ne? Ich habe den Namen vergessen vom Tank. Kann mich nur an den Skoda erinnern. Ja, Skoda T56 ist der Heavy, ist der schwere. Und der T27 ist der mittlere. Aber wenn du dir einen mittleren holen willst, dann solltest du abwarten auf den Borask. Der Borask ist wohl der stärkste mittlere Premium-Panzer. Für Light war es LP432 und für Heavy war es halt T56, ne? Und ich glaube für Sniper, also für TD, also Tank Destroyer oder Jäger, wie man so schön sagt, war es glaube ich sogar die Su. Das Krasse ist, den wir uns geholt haben, den Skoda T27, die Su, der Jagdpanzer, hat in allem bessere Werte als der mittlere, Mann. Richtig geil, oder? The tower imprisoning me isn't here. There isn't much mana in there. And there's no lake where fairies Gaza. Ich will den Gegner Angst haben. Hä? Was, du willst den Gegner Angst haben? Oder geben? Geben? Ja gut. Das ist eigentlich ja... Also ich sag mal, zum Warmwerden, um reinzukommen in die Taktik, sind schwere, denke mal, und TDs, also die Jäger eigentlich gar nicht mal so doof. Also ich muss ehrlich sagen, also wir haben jetzt den mittleren und den Jäger und durch den Wechsel wird es langsam. Ich habe wirklich das Gefühl, ich komme langsam rein. Wisst ihr nicht, hast du dir das Video angeschaut in der Zwischenzeit mal? Weil das Video hilft dir schon ungemein auf den Karten. Das sind glaube ich 5 Karten oder so. Wo der dann auch sagt, wo du am besten lang fährst. Und ganz wichtig, wenn du keine Rüstung hast, ist auch nur mal so ein Tipp, nicht in die Städte fahren, wo so Nahkampf ist, so krass. Wenn du keine Rüstung hast, nicht auf Nahkampf. Alles was Nahkampf ist da tödlich, ne? The only thing here is the site of selection. Okay, aber no, keine Zeit, mach dann morgen auf Pause. Jo, mach das. Also lohnt sich auf jeden Fall echt. Lohnt sich echt mega für die paar Karten, die du mal hast. Ich habe nämlich die Klitoris-Map gehabt, wie der das jeder da erklärt hat, die Klitoris-Map, war richtig geil, weil es so aussieht wie eine Vagina, Mann, richtig geil. Zumindest von der Top-Karte, weißt du, und ich habe halt was gemacht, was der gemacht hat. Das Problem ist halt, unser Team hat halt richtig hardcore verkackt, hat erst unten das Dorf gewonnen und ist da total dumm reingerusht, ist total auseinandergefickt worden, weißt du. Und ich bin halt als Einzigster, hab das gemacht, was eigentlich richtig war, aber da am Ende komplett alles kollabiert ist, bin ich dann auch am Arsch gewesen, ne? Ja, Forge, where the 6 fairies were supposed to create a sacred sword. The site of selection, is that anything like the stone that contained the sword of selection in the legend of King Arthur? The one that Arthur found when he was still a squire, being raised as Sir Ector's adopted child. The one he pulled the sword of selection from to demonstrate that he was destined to be king. That's right, it basically signifies the same thing, and my job is to guide you all there. There, see that altar upon top of that hill? It's your destination. It's only a stone throw away, but you will need to pass through a few checkpoints of sorts to reach it. Think of them as Avalon defense mechanism, only final test to make sure everything is in order. But one, everything the Fairies of Paradise has done to date will appear there as an obstacle to be overcome. Everything she's done to date? Ah, that's right, you'll be going over a scrapbook of her life, so to speak, making sure there are no loose ends. Das heißt auch, das Negative. It'll be a little journey in its own right, one that starts with a cold, unforgiving winter and ends with a warm, fun spring. Based on how things have gone before, it's safe to say the first obstacle will be the hardest for many reasons. Imoto, your job is to remove those obstacles and help the Fairy of Paradise advance. Don't worry, you'll be going from hardship to good times, so it'll only get easier the closer you get. And just so we are clear, let me repeat, the Fairy of Paradise's duty is to create a sacred sword. By doing so, the British Schlossbild will lose its divergence point and human history will be stabilized once again. Without its tree of emptiness, the British Schlossbild will simply fade away, like all the others. And most importantly, the sacred sword's creation will lead directly to the protection of human history. Were this Britain to mix with proper human history, the result would be a world that never had a sacred sword. It would close off the route you have to take to defeat the foreign god. Then again, the foreign god can't stop the collapse either, so you'll both be screwed there. Ja, danke! Anyway, I think that's everything you need to know. Any questions? So making the sacred sword is Altria's duty. Lass mich raten, Altria verwandelt sich selbst dann ins Schwert, so gefühlt. Come on, Imoto, why so glum? It's okay, there's nothing to worry about. I'm still the Child of Prophecy, remember? This is the moment I've been working toward all this time. I rang all the bells so I could come here. Ich wette mit dir, die wird dann am Ende selber zu dem Schwert. Besides, I've known this was my duty since I rang the 12th bell in Orkney. I planned to come here alone once Nocnadia was coronated. So don't worry about anything else, okay? Besides, Shaldia needs one of those divine construct things, right? Then we'd better hurry. I'm going to protect the Britain I grew up in. So, Birb, was essen und maybe back you, alles klar, gut Hunger. Mitternachtssnack, look. You guys are going to take back the world you grew up in. Na dann, viel Spaß im Lucky! Kannst mir danach erzählen, was so zu futtern gab. We need to do this to make both those things happen. Now it's time to get to it. That's all. This will be the end of our journey. I'm lucky my pilgrimage has been so much fun. Now come on, Imoto, let's head to the site of selection. Besides, it's not every day you get to go to Avalon, so let's make the most of it. Just watch my back until it's over, okay? Ich hab so das Gefühl, das geht dann, ja. Wird noch krasser. Krasser und krasser, ey. Bam, 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 bam. Winter Memories. Holy, das sind eine ganze Menge Memories, ja? Man, this sure is a huge flower garden. Couldn't be more different from Britain's burning to the ground. But the fact that it's called Land of the Young must mean there's plenty of food to go around. And people have all the time they could want, right? Yeah, makes sense. There's no war or unmercy here. Not much reason to do anything bad if you don't gotta take anything from anyone to have what you need. That's true, when you have everything you need, there's no void for you to fill. That's another way this place is very different from the British Schlossbild, which literally had to be built by filling in the sea with the bodies of the dead fairies. Speaking of which, this seems like a good time to tell you about what's going on above ground. Prophecy may have said there are two calamities, a red one and the black one. Actually though, there's no limit to the number of calamities, remember that. New calamities will continue to appear as long as their source remains. Calamities will never go away until Cernunnos, the being continued punishing the fairies for their sins, is truly vanquished. Furthermore, thanks to Morgan's hard work, fairies born in the land of the Fae can migrate to proper human history. Kann ich dir jetzt schon sagen, Huhn mit Reis und Curry? Oh, geht da los, geht da los! Ja, ich habe mir auch was Leichtes gemacht. Das Einzige, was leicht, was nicht leicht war, war halt Schwein. Aber ansonsten gab's Quark und Ei noch dazu. That means the calamities won't be contained to Britain. They spread into then all across the bleached world, and nothing remains of proper human history. It would be basically a smaller scale version of the King of Mages' incineration of humanity. So you guys need to defeat every last one of the calamities before that happens. I see, then we can't let Cernunnos' curse spread any further. We need to stop his calamities while they are still contained in Britain. Exactly. Calamity burning down Britain right now is actually a great calamity that was supposed to happen 1,000 years ago. Morgan averted the calamity by passing it on to the Fang Clan fairy. Okay. Vargas, the leader of the Black Dogs, she's not the fairy you knew anymore. Ja, das habe ich mir schon gedacht, ne? She knows burning all of Britain as the Black Calamity, the Calamity of the Beast. Ja, Vargas, das ist richtig traurig, Mann. This was all foreseeable. She was born the child of calamity after all. It was Morgan who sealed that fate away by gifting her the name. She said that as long as Vargas was Gawain, she would never become a mythical hound. But even that could only go so far. Vargas was already at her limit even without you guys defeating her. Honestly, it's impressive she lasted as long as she did. This won't be easy to hear, but you need to understand. Once you get back to the surface, you'll have to fight more than just Cernunnos. Like I said, we can't afford to let the calamities leave Britain. Letting some fairies migrate to proper human history was a nice idea. Unfortunately, in Vargas' case, that was never an option. Oof. As for the other calamity Cernunnos, that one you can fight without having to feel bad or worry. His soul was shattered 14,000 years ago. Now he's just a corpse that's not quite done dying. That said, he's still a very powerful god. His flesh has grown thick enough over those millennia to rival alien spirit cavern. This cursed equivalent to 400 kilometers worth of geological strata. 400! You need to the god of wisdom's curse dispelling all the fighting forces Chaldean can muster and the divine construct made especially to combat Cernunnos. Even then, you'll only just be able to scrape by. Thinking about it, you honestly may not stand a chance. Ja, danke! And I can't help you either, since I can't leave this place. Best I can do is show you the way. Ah man, I was really hoping to avoid the story ending in total annihilation. What? My Gedanke. What? I know, right? If only we had the Godslayer weapon lying around so... What do we do? We have the perfect trump card for take on Cernunnos, in fact. It'll be a piece of cake. Really? But where's the trump card? Muramasa! Okay. Say what? Come on, don't you remember? You told us you could cut any god you came across. In fact, you were bragging about how you can cut a gigantic one clean in half that Olympus place. So there's no reason you can't do the same thing here. And since you didn't do anything noteworthy in Camelot, this will be your chance to clean your name. What do you mean? Do you mean clear your name? Oh, is that what you say pro human history? I see, good to know. Well, sure, if you really want me to, I can try to cut him down. Oh, guck mal hier, zu vorsichtig. Yeah, see, he can do it. Just goes to show it never hurts to ask. Sheesh, you're finally letting yourself be selfish, and that's the first thing you say. I said I'd try, okay? Don't you get your hopes up. Not sure how much I can do against that thing. Fuck. Attribution? Master Attribution just disappeared. Is this one of those checkpoints you mentioned, Merlin? Yep, this is the first. She's facing her own memories now. And while she's doing that, you guys will need to fight and defeat those. Oh hey! Hallöchen! Merlin Autos. Hä? Avalon Wyverns? What? Damn it! Close, but no cigar. Now come on, get your head in the game. Those are radical abstract embodiments of Altria's winter memories. She'll never be able to leave those memories until you defeat them. Oh, okay. But they shouldn't pose any major threat to you now that you've come this far. Go on, give them a good thrashing. Aye aye, Captain. I fight too, of course. It's been ages since I last showed up after all. Plus I've been wanting to see how much stronger you and Marsh have grown up so close in person. Oh, Berserker haben wir, ja. Ups. Egal. Hab mich voll verklickt, ne? Macht's immer keinen. Ja, hier. Nein, nicht du. Ja. Mama. Ja, Altria können wir nicht benutzen, weil, ja, wer hätte gedacht? Du, yes. Und darf ich. Oh, ich darf. Warte mal, halt, stopp, ich mach so. Oh ja. Wo bist du? Avenger. Da! Kaleidoskop! So, ich kann noch wen. Hier. So. Einer, let's go! Bam, 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 bam. Battle.
我が進化よ。玉座の支度はできていますか?
Ich hab gedacht, das wird schwer. Ach, oh Gott. Wait. Ah. Easy, Mann.
耐えてみるかい？女神じゃないかしら。手に入らないの。簡単に終わらないよ。私の触手は残念ですよ。サードアイ。
海岸。
破壊する標本にしてあげるわ。
Warte mal. Brauchen wir zwar nicht, aber egal. Drauf da! Fang erstmal mit dir an. Nyarugashan. Sollte easy reichen. Easy, um alle das erste Mal wegzubumsen. Cast a Cutting Crater. Das war auch nicht Damage. Ultra. Ja, weg mit dem Guts. Easy peasy, Mann. Damit squeezy.
その通りよ。原始の地獄に帰りなさい。
地獄に帰りなさい。Ja, Megami Beam. Und tschüss.
私は善と悪が合体した究極の私。負ける道理がないんだ。
Glöckchen gab's dazu, nice. Ich mag Glöckchen. Davon brauche ich immer mal wieder mal welche. Tschüss. Flups. I don't know why, but those things felt really awful to fight. Ach. It's not actually all that surprising. Those were Caster's most painful memories given physical form. We have no way of knowing what they are, but repeating them we felt some of the same feelings they inspire in her. Huh? Where'd you all go? You just disappeared on me out of nowhere. I was really worried. Hey, you disappeared. We've been here fighting off weird moss and... No, Mirror Moss, are in good time. She has ablutions, needs to perform the... Ablutions? She needs to perform to enter the site of selection. We have obstacles to remove. Ablutions? Was ist denn das für ein Wort? Ich kenne das gar nicht. We only have 3 more of these to go. Let's just take them one at a time. Whatever you have to say can wait until after we've reached the site of selection. So I don't have to do any fighting this time? Sounds good to me. Come on, let's keep going. Eieiei, ich hab so komisches Kackgefühl, ne? Bam, badam, 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 bam. Mehr Text zum Vorlesen für die Tori. Whenever I close my eyes, this is where I'd be. It didn't matter if I was awake or asleep, I'd still be shivering from the frigid wind. Howling, wind strong enough to shatter your ears. With nothing to protect me, my body feels cold as ice. Surrounded by pitch darkness, with nothing for warmth, no hope for a scare of escape, it's how I grew up. For me, Britain was pure hell. Die ist als Sklave groß geworden, ne? The prophecy was true. She will be our salvation, she will be our absolution. She is the savior who washed up on the shore along with the name Altria. May you grow healthy and strong to the age of 16, may the Queen's soldiers never find you. Now go on and hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry and greet your 16th birthday. We have a complete faith in you, which is why you must give everything you have for us, Alter. Die Pisser, Mann! A small newborn filly washed ashore in a boat loaded with all kinds of treasure. What an incredible stroke of luck! This girl must be the child of prophecy. What a horrible omen! If High Queen finds out about her, we'll all be done for. The village fairies' opinions were split right down in the middle. They all agreed on what should be done. At least the child of prophecy should be useful. We'll raise her ourselves until she turns 16. But she's the fairy of paradise, right? I don't like her. I'm sure she's going to mock us. She doesn't deserve a proper house. What do humans do with creatures like that again? And no, they raised them as livestock. Can make her a lovely little stable. Alter, ey. Daughter's villagers will never find out about her if we say we're raising a horse. We can keep the child of prophecy all for ourselves. Alter. Die Dreckstypen, ne? The fairies of Tintigal treated me as a precious resource. I had almost no magical energy, which made them all worry about me. Yeah. It's been 4 years since she got here, and she still has barely any magical energy, poor thing. She may as well be a human. Can't believe she still can't do anything impressive. I'm worried we should be able to survive like this. And now we need to train her. We need to be hard on her, methodical with her. Can't even give her time to sleep. Ja, danke, man. Forgive of caster. It's all for your own good. Ja, it's up. Where you are now, you can't even dream of being the child of prophecy. We don't have any time for dreams. You really need to have her grown at least a little. You can barely tell apart from a human. No one will believe she's the child of prophecy like this, not even when she turns 16. Who cares if she can defeat the queen or not? All that matters is that she's valuable. It doesn't matter whether she's the real child of prophecy or not, she just has to look the part so we can get rich out top. Why else would we bother taking in the fairies of paradise? We just have to make sure she doesn't die. We don't have to worry about her running away, she's much too weak to do that. Alter, ey. But the village fairies didn't know that my fey eye still worked. However much I wished they couldn't, I always saw the true feelings they kept to themselves. Hallelujah, ey. Deep down, they all feared and loathed me. Fairies that feared me believed in the child of prophecy with all their hearts and worked me like a slave. The fairies that loathed me hated the fairy of paradise and abused me without a second thought. Aside from that, all anyone felt for me was indifference. I was considered a precious resource, but treated like I wasn't even there. But I couldn't blame them for that. I more or less knew what my duty was. It was to bring salvation to the fairies of Britain, to free them from the suffering and to save them in the true sense of the word. Wie wär's mal mit ein bisschen Dankbarkeit? Even as a child, I understood that fulfilling my duty would mean the end of Britain as it existed now. I could deal with the slave driving, the abuse and the disinterest because I knew the reason behind them, but the sound was too much to bear. Asleep or awake, there was never a time I didn't hear it. Holes of deceit, holes of self-interest, holes of selfishness, holes of envy, sounds I could never shut out, sounds of the fairy's true feelings. It was enough to make me lose track of where I was and where I was meant to go. Bing bong! I hear bells ringing that tell me to go on a pilgrimage to save the fairies. Honestly, the sound depresses me too. I know it's supposed to be an honorable mission, but how in the world am I supposed to save fairies like that? Das ist eine gute Frage. Ha! Ja! Die! So that's why I'm out in this nearby field again, hard at work on my training. Today's another day of close quarter combat practice with the staff of selection, which arrived with me on my boat as a weapon. Can't use anything like Fey domains, so the only thing I can do with this stuff is boop people. Ja gut. Ja. Ja. Plaps. It was an early afternoon in my 6th year. I just collapsed from exhaustion. My melee combat training was the only time I had to myself, once the villager keeping an eye on me left, figuring I was so weak I wouldn't be able to escape anyway. Huh? And just as my voice was trailing off. Yeah, that was nasty. The fairies at your place are pretty horrible, you know that? Huh? Did you just talk, staff? No, I'm not the staff of selection. I'm just a noisy old busybody. And you just couldn't take or awful tentacles anymore. How sickening it is to see you doing everything they tell you. I just had to say something. I swear, I wasn't planning on getting involved, but no, I just don't think I have a choice. Listen up, I'm Merlin the Mage of Flowers. I'm going to be your teacher from now on, don't forget it. That was how I met Merlin, or at least his voice coming from the staff of selection. That was how I began studying to be a mage. So, haben wir noch ein bisschen Tee für die Tori? Magecraft? I know about that. Queen Morgan uses that. Haben wir noch ein bisschen? Ja, sehr schön. Der letzte Rest vom Schützenfest. Dann darf ich nach dem Stream wieder auf Klo rennen, bevor es zu spät ist. Schön. What exactly is it? What exactly are you going to teach me? What do you mean, Magecraft, of course. Merlin's Magecraft. Trust me, it's really something. Oh, will it let me fly like a bird? Like zoom, whoosh, pshoo? Flying, you'd like to fly, huh? It's pretty tall order for your first spell. You don't know how to fly? What are you, some kind of crack? Oh no, I can fly easily. I'm the amazing Merlin. But let's hold off on that one for now. Not even the Wind Clan can fly after all. The sky is the dragon's domain. Only precious few upper class fairies can go there. So for your first spell, let's start with something closer to home. Something that'll make your life easier. Tell me, is there anything you could use right now that would make you happy? Well, I guess I'd like it if nighttime was warmer. Feuer. My house gets really cold, even if it freezes over in the winter. I actually lost 2 toes last year cause of that. I haven't told anyone else though. It's too embarrassing. Das glaube ich. Well then, I start start getting a lesson ready for you right away. Just give me 2 days to find some teaching materials. Dude! Merlin taught me all sorts of spells. Heating, detection, healing, linguistics, camouflage, lockpicking, stealth attacks, explosives, obstacles. Every time I expressed interest in learning a new spell, he'd say, "Sorry, can't today, just you have to wait until the next lesson." And then we'd make Magecraft items together, and those lessons formed the foundation of my Merlin Magecraft. Looking back on it, I must have had to change the spells a lot just so I could use them with my tiny pool of magical energy. Ja gut, ne? Say, why are you teaching me all this when every British fairy hates me? Because I'm not a British fairy. Sorry, just kidding. Fact is, you are the fairy of paradise. No matter what the fairies of your village think, eventually most fairies will come to follow you. When they do, you need to be the ideal, no. The kind of savior that everyone dreams of, a fantastical savior. Fantastical? That's right, you need to be a character straight out of a children's story. Everyone has different fantasies, so some want a strong king, some a kind king, some a scary king, and so on. Your job is to be able to be all of those things. You need to inspire hopes and dreams, or rather bring them all together. Everything wants something different, so as a single name would only get in the way. That's why you need to be a nameless king, someone who stands at the edge of the world rather than its center. And serves as a beacon of hope for others just by virtue of existing, glowing starlight shining with impossibilities. That's the kind of king I'd like to become. The kind that can inspire people from atop castle walls, no matter the time or place. Can I really be all that? Sure you can. It might be impossible in reality, but anything's possible in fantasy. And people have always had a way of making fantasy become reality. It's why futures we thought we could only dream of eventually stop being dreams. Tee? Ja gut, der gute Inkubus, ne? Traumdämon und so, ne? Merlin was very talkative and a lot of fun to be around. But that only lasted for a year. A fairy girl saw me laughing in the field and reported me to the village elder, who responded by taking away the staff of selection until I turned 16 and set out on my journey. From then on, every day was more painful than the last. Alter, die Wichser! That's the end of my winter memories. Alter, kriegst ja Krise. Jetzt muss er wieder kämpfen. Was? Okay, ernst. Wie viel? Eine Ausdauer. Was ist eine fucking... Ja, friss, Junge. Wegen einer fucking Ausdauer, Mann. Das kannst du mir doch nicht antun, ey. So. Ach, guck mal, hier schon wieder Line-Up. Hinter mit euch. Und... Nee. Ja. So, wo haben wir meine Bibi, die gute Bibi, weil wir wieder Berserker haben. Bibi. Nein, da. Oh. Jetzt, Dato. Easy, das wird wieder easy, sag ich dir. Wieder mit Guts, aber das wäre weniger? Und nur jetzt. Ja gut, hat er gesagt, es wird leichter, ne? Gut, dass es einen Unterschied gemacht hätte für mich, ne? Stop! Das? Ja, die gehen so schwächer geworden. Piu. Nyarugashanna. So gut. Und wirklich leichter. Richtig gedacht. Nom. Chisai das ne. Da kommt noch was. Wird die gleich nicht mehr freuen. 始まりは極小、広がりは無限。すべて我が心臓に収まりに。Enxugada Kaiser. Und tschüss. Easy peasy. それがあなたたちにはお似合いです。お似合いです。バンバンバラバンバンバラバンバラバンバラバン。Oh, geht gleich weiter, okay. This happened when I was 12 years old. So you're 12 now. You've done well to grow this far. Right, I think it's time that I sent you on an errand. I'm a little worried about letting you go alone, but you are stronger now that you can use Magecraft. You know where the Drift Cape is, yes? There's an Earth clan fairy living there. I'd like you to bring this to him. Just make sure you're back by nightfall. Oh, okay. Ah, der Schmied, oder? Huh? No way, could it house be? There's no mistaking it. The lone house on top of the cape was an iron-themed park and an artisan workshop like Merlin had told me about. The kind of place at the very top of my bucket list. The kind that couldn't be found in Tintigal. It's a smithy! Schmiede! Patsch, patsch, patsch. Babs! Babab! Whoa! Cool! Oh, this is amazing! Even I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I couldn't have acted more suspicious if I tried. I probably looked like a burglar. So it was no surprise when... What are you doing here, girl? Are you trying to get your head split open? Ah! Our first meeting couldn't have gone worse. His name was Hector. He was a blacksmith of the Earth clan. He was an eccentric who'd been living on the Cape for hundreds of years, and everyone in the village feared him. He was really stubborn and kind of scary looking, but he was a true friend. He was a true friend. He never once lied to me. Immerhin einer, weißt du? Aber wir wissen ja, was am Ende aus ihm geworden ist. Ne? The leather pouches from Tintigal. So you weren't trying to steal my iron. You were bringing me some. So you're not a burglar, eh? So this is from the Tintigal Elder. What was that? I can't hear you. Speak up! Inculcate! Louder! Hector's hearing was poor, so I had to be really loud if I wanted him to hear me. What's more, he hated fairies. Both his inner voice and his heart were dripping with pitch-black hatred. He's gonna kill me if I stay here too long. He really is going to split my head open with that hammer. My excitement about being in a real smithy is gone. I decided to leave the Elder's package and beat a hasty retreat. But then... Wait, let me get a good look at you. You're the child of prophecy, aren't you? I see, so it's already been 12 years since Ainsel made her prophecy. Get back to your village, this is no place for a young girl. I live out in this backwater, so I don't have to see anyone. Don't you ever come back here again, got it? I don't have time to deal with the child of prophecy. Yes, sir. Sorry for the intrusion. Komm jetzt gerade, haben wir geflogen oder was? Ist ja wieder Werkstatt. Schraubschlüssel, ey. Einmal Deckung geben, bitte. In a panic, I made my way out of his house, just avoiding the hammer he threw at me. Ich hab's gewusst, ein Hammer, Alter. I ran from the cape and straight back to the village. My steps were slow and plodding, but even less prepped than usual. Ja gut. Du bist mal Hammer geflogen, ey. Guck mal, wer wieder da ist, hä? I came back. Didn't I tell you to stay away? What are you doing here? Why didn't you listen to me? Is every favorite that face actually more, or maybe a beer? Don't touch that! That's a processed iron. It'll give any fairy who touches it off, right? Looks like you're okay. I see. You might look like a Wind Clan fairy, but you're uglier with a Demon Boar clan. Of course there's no such thing as a Demon Boar clan. So you're not afraid of an iron of the forge, huh? But you got an interest in them? I see. I see. Ach, vor allem seine Hände, Alter, sind gewaltig. So, Runde 2, hä? Back again, are you? Well, I doubt anyone else in that village would want to spend the time with me. Your outfit's rubbish. Nice that it has a lot of pockets, but the seams and finish are horrible. Here, give your elder a message for me. Tell him I'll give him a discount if he sends someone to help me. Really? Hector? What does that mean? Don't call me Hector. Just Grandpa Smithy is fine. You'd better be here every other day to help out. Got it? I don't know who taught you how to hold a tool, but you're doing it all wrong. You're going to hurt yourself that way. You gotta learn the fundamentals. Can't have you dying in a shop accident and ruining my reputation. But if you're really interested in learning what it takes to be a smith, I can teach you. But don't expect me to pay you. If anything, you ought to be paying me for these lessons and put it all in the tab so you can pay me back when you make it big. Oh Mann, ich glaube, das... And so I began studying a new field in preparations for my journey as a child of prophecy. Hector was rough and intimidating, but he also excelled at fine craftsmanship and intricate ornamentation. A year after I started helping him, I learned that Hector was famous in certain circles as a mastersmith. I found out he didn't just take jobs from other villages in southwest Britain. He also occasionally got special orders from the big cities like Salisbury, Oxford, and even as far off as Manchester, for example. Excuse me, is Sir Hector in? It was the first time a customer had shown up personally at Hector's workshop. I tried to give her a proper welcome so it would reflect well on Hector. Sir Hector, are you here? I'm Gawain, I sent you an order some time ago. Ooh! It's Gawain! I don't know if it was intentional or if she just couldn't hear me, but she ignored me completely. Gut! Bargest, man. This is Bargest. Sir Gawain, huh? Never thought I'd see another Tamlin. I can see you're a strong one. You ought to be able to handle this armor then. It's all ready to go in the back room. If it fits alright, I can pack it up for you today. Give me your hand, Altria, and make sure you don't drop it. It ain't cheap. There's no need for that. If it fits well, I just wear it out. I see, alright, come with me then. Altria, you just stay here and tidy up. I heard the clatter of armor being put on in the back room, along with Hector and the Flavius conversation. Apparently she was an amazing upper-class Fang clan fairy who had been chosen to become a Tamlin. She was also well known in Gloucester social circuits, had impeccable manners, was as strong as she was tall. And she obviously had enough money to buy the silver armor Hector had been working on for the last 4 years. For some reason I found myself getting angry. This is fantastic work, Sir Hector. I'm grateful we were here to do it. It was a fulfilling job, the only one I've had since I came here. Really? I would think an artisan of your skill could easily find work anywhere. I know this is rude of me to suggest, but my own city still lacks a sizable smithy. I think you might be amenable to move there. Huh? What the hell is she on about? Did you hear that? It almost sounded like a bullfrog or maybe a nightcrow. Stay out of this, you idiot. Don't you know she's a Tamlin? But come on, Grandpa, who the hell does she think she is trying to persuade you to move away? I won't deny that I had something of a foul mouth by this point. I blame Merlin for that. Still, I really was pissed, so I marched up to the Tamlin and glared at her, hoping I'd make her leave. Oh, you must be Sir Hector's apprentice. I can understand how you feel. I would be sad to part ways with a trusted mentor as well. I'm therefore willing to forgive this outburst. But regardless, don't talk to me again until you've grown up some. When you are as tall as I am, it's literally a pain in the neck to talk to smaller people. Ja gut, einfach mal bücken. Aber verständlich, wie groß ist Bargest? Steht das in ihrer Lore mit drin? Not that I mentioned anyone of your size could ever even begin to understand what it's like. And with that, the Tamlin up and left. It was clear she had forgotten all about me in the moment she stopped speaking to me. A signature on Hector's order slip didn't say Gawain, it said Bargest. Ah! Some weird curse kept me from reading it, but since I can always tell when someone is lying, I could see it through it. I'm gonna remember that name. You see if I don't. Das heißt, sie kann alles, diese ganzen Zensurdinger haben keine Chance gegen Altria. Not bad, I ran out of things to teach you in only 4 years. Apprentice or not, you are a fully fledged smith now. Was war das Wort davor? No, much we can do about your lack of magical energy though. No, not much. How are things with the village fairies? Do they still believe you're a child of prophecy? Things are the same as ever. Half of the village still doesn't believe I am. Everyone wants to send the Child of Prophecy on her way though, so things more or less work out. What about you, Grandpa? Do you really think I'm the Child of Prophecy? Or ask me, I couldn't care less about Tyntagal. No, go gather some sand from the beach. We need to make a lot of jewelry starting tomorrow. There's a festival coming up in the Cat Sis village soon and they ordered a bunch of cheap trinkets. Hector was very good with his hands, so in addition to weapons, armor and household items, he also made jewelry. His workbench was always covered with different kinds of ornaments and accessories. He said they were just cheap trinkets meant to fool children, but for someone like me, who'd only ever had one outfit to call her own, they may as well have been the crown jewels. They glittered like stars in the night sky, red, blue, green and sometimes even yellow. Apparently, I had a habit of stopping what I was doing and gazing at the barrettes that were all arrayed on the workbench. One day on my second autumn of helping, the actor saw me absorbed in them and said, if you want, go ahead and take one to keep for reference. I can write it off within the margin of error. For Smith, the margin of error refers to products that are cracked or broken in the process of making something. Of course, Actor would never make anything defective, but he was kind enough to offer me one anyway, to encourage me. But thanks, but no thanks. If I brought something of my own back, they'd just take it away again. I was thrilled that he offered it to me. I wanted so much to accept it that my vision blurred with tears. But the fairies of Tyntagal had proved with the stuff of selection that they could never have anything I really cared about. Alter Falter, das sowas ist schon krass. Still, it did help me remember the conversation I'd had when I was younger. It was with Merlin when I was recklessly working day and night to try and move things along fast as I could. And it sucks when things should have disappeared long ago just stick around, like those narrow-minded fairies who keep trying to control you. This is the worst. Everyone in Britain is so awful now. Just kidding. But if that's how you feel out here, you should say so. It's okay to want what you want. You don't have to deny yourself. No, what is it you want the most right now? Don't be embarrassed, just tell me. You want a spell that can blow an enemy to smithereens, here, like this. I see. So you need a tool you can charge with magic energy, and the spell you can use to make gunpowder explode. This is dangerously close to magical terrorism. Then again, there's no telling when or where the black dogs might come after you. Okay, I try putting together a little recipe, just give me 6 days, okay? Let's see, I think there was a smith in Norwich who was an expert in sort of thing. You're so kind and helpful, Merlin. I bet you've been on a lot of dates, haven't you? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't really understand much about that whole love business. It's a lot like food for me. Instead of thinking about my companion, all I think about is what it tastes like. Ja, das stimmt wirklich. Ist ja ein Inkubus, ne? That's kinda why neither face no humans ever had much love for me. But then once I was suddenly thrust into a role where I had to be romantic and ended up being better at it than anyone else. Honestly, I'm more unsure of what that says about me than anyone. So you don't have a single lover, even though you're the mage of flowers? Aren't you lonely? Maybe, though probably not too much since I didn't realize that you said something. It's not something I've ever worried about. I always knew I'd be forever out of reach. That said, for me studying magecraft, looking for a way to save Britain and finding a lover are basically the same. What do you mean? What I mean is, it might be lonesome to look for a star you know doesn't exist, but also kind of fun. Ja gut, ne? Ups. Nee, geht noch weiter. Oh, okay. And then in the morning I turned 16, the village fairies all gathered in town square and told me, we want to see proof that you really are the Child of Prophecy. The blacksmith who lives on the cliff is an imperial guard. You're the only one who he's not wary of, you're the only one he trusts. Alter, jetzt geht's los. You're truly the fairy's destiny to save Britain, then kill him for us. Please, please, we're so anxious, our every day is filled with fear. Alter. Wie kann man nur so sein, Mann? So go on, prove you can protect us by taking care of him. Das ist, Alter, Kann man nur... It's the end of my autumn memories. Richtig am Arsch, Mann. Pling. So, ich wollte jetzt mal gucken, ob wir das einsehen können bei Bargast Formation. Spirit Ocean. Level 80. Das Sabers. Nee, das ist Lancers. Saber weiter oben. Archer. Saber, da. Bargast müsste anführen. Da, genau. Profile. Wo haben wir... Nee. Steht nicht mit bei. Oder muss ich erst wahrscheinlich nur freischalten? Ich schätze mal, dass ich wahrscheinlich erst noch freischalten muss. Also mehr Background Information. Ui. Aber die ganzen Outfits sind schon cool von der. So. Aber ich würde mal sagen, wir machen für heute Feierabend. Das wird sich jetzt für jetzt ein paar Minütchen jetzt nicht mehr anfangen, lohnen anzufangen. Aber jo, ich würde mal sagen, schön auf jeden Fall, dass ihr reingeschaut habt. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet genauso viel Spaß wie der Tori hier. Und wir sehen uns dann am Samstag zu einer Runde Holocure. Und später am Abend gibt es auch wieder eine Runde World of Tanks. Also... Wenn ihr Bock habt, könnt ihr eventuell sogar mitmachen, weil der Ray hat auf jeden Fall Bock, aber Jurik kommt erst ein bisschen später. Also wird auf jeden Fall wahrscheinlich ein Platz frei sein. Und wenn ihr Bock habt, könnt ihr einfach reinrushen, ne? Also dann würde ich mal sagen, bis später. Tori out. Bye bye.